Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Kike Igado Kure. The headlines this are: Senate attack, Ekweremadu indicts security agencies. Again, suspected gunman attacks Zamfara, leaves about 30 people dead and many injured. And on the foreign scene, Democratic Party sues Russia, Trump, for alleged election conspiracy. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news in full. Deputy President of the Senate, Ekweremadu, says the attack on the Senate last week was an indictment of security agencies in the country. He also said it is another lesson on the need to rethink the nation's security structure. Speaking in Abuja the weekend, Ekweremadu noted that it is an embarrassment to Nigeria before the international community for someone to drive in the way into the National Assembly complex, entered the hallowed chamber, and cut away its symbol of authority. He noted that the attack shows a breakdown of security and a setback to Nigeria's drive for foreign investment. Nigerian youth have been advised not to stay away from politics but should rather come out and contest for elective positions. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, the people said the youth need to brace up to the challenge of repositioning the country into a better path.
Myself, very much interested in politics, a young youth, vibrant one at that. And so I'm encouraging every youth in this country, Nigeria, only the youth can grow it to a better height, better than the elders we have right now, occupying those elective positions. And so I encourage every one of you, like myself, to please come out, get your PVC, the permanent voters card, and take active participation in the forthcoming elections in 2019 to vote for the right candidates. And as well, if you're up to the eligible contesting age, please come out and contest for position. Do not regard your pocket yet, and I believe with your support and with the youth's support, I will be able to get there, growing this country to where we want it to be.
When I was young, I was hearing Leaders of Tomorrow. How old am I now? It's still the same old people that I was singing their names when I was young and I'm still hearing today. So what's the way forward? So the best thing is that let's just all try and put our heads together and remove that fear in us. So we should wake up with the youths because it's in our hands.
I'm calling on all the youths in Nigeria. I think it's high time we took over positions in Nigeria. We indicate interest in electoral offices in Nigeria. We've seen what our grandfathers and our fathers have done so far. Not that they don't have this idea, but I think they are not up to the standard anymore as regards to what is happening in the world, technology. So if we have people who are educated, not all those who fly out, you fly out to go abroad school and then you hold those knowledge and ideas. It's high time you come back to the country here where you are from and put to use the skills and the knowledge in which you have acquired in foreign countries. You know, let's put this into elective positions, let's put this into politics, and I believe something great should be able to happen in this country. So this phase of the old era should be phased out, and let's see what the young ones, the youths, could do, what they have in store.
The need to strengthen Nigeria's copyright laws cannot be overstressed due to the recurrent issues of piracy in the country. At the Wordmark World Book and Copyright Day, some people have told us that adequate measures must be put in place to ensure those who take credit for other people's work be severely punished.
I know copyright has been in existence. It's everywhere all over the world. People want to reap where they did not sow. A couple of days back, one of the popular musicians, Two-Face to be precise, he came out on air and they were discussing on this copyright thing. And they were really bitter, but the government is aware and they've tabled it even to the president's table, vice president, senate and the rest of them, so that they will try and let them know that this copyright thing is killing the industry, creative industry. But for me, copyright is not a good thing.
I think the responsibility lies mainly with government. Strong legislations, legislators, if they want to help us, they can make laws to ban, because you cannot go on the street and start arresting people, and except with laws. I think basically it's with laws.
We are in the era of technology. I think everything is tilting towards that angle. So I know a friend who has written a book, and that book can only be accessible online. Let's say the online platform provides a certain level of restriction. I think publishers or writers should tap into that platform, and maybe it would go a long way in helping them control piracy.
On the World Book and Copyright Day, people are expected to respect authors and their contributions to the social and cultural progress of humanity globally. The World Health Organization, WHO, says no fewer than 59 million children in Africa are stunted, while another 10 million are overweight. The UN Health Agency also warned that Africa's attempts to achieve health for all by 2030 could be threatened unless the continent addressed the twin challenges of undernutrition and obesity. Undernutrition occurs when people do not get enough to eat. On the other hand, people who are obese have body fat levels that may impair their health. The health experts at a World Health Organization meeting in Nairobi therefore pressed for action to address the double burden of malnutrition in Africa. Such measures include implementing policies and action to control the marketing and consumption of unhealthy foods, or to promote consumption of healthy foods through taxation and subsidies. April 23rd every year is marked English Day. In this interview, Human Rights Radio correspondent takes a look at the effects of English language on the Nigerian indigenous languages.
I think in our society we have tried to measure intelligence by their English speaking ability. So if we separate those two things and understand that English is just a language and not a measure of intelligence, then our children will begin to appreciate our language the more. You can be intelligent in your own language. It's just about how you express yourself. So I think if we can state that clearly, and try to see how we can incorporate that into bringing up our children, I think it can go a long way.
Personally, my own children, they don't hear my language, and it's very, very sad. In case you have visitor, maybe you want to communicate in your vernacular, your children is English. So there is no secrecy in that house. I will try to advise parents that they should do more. The problem is when you don't speak your dialect to them, they don't know. Sometimes my children say, Daddy, what is our language? Sometimes I'll feel embarrassed. I'll be ashamed. So, but now I start teaching them small, so they are picking up. They're interested, and I will encourage us to be taking the children home at least once in a while, because some children, they are born here, they don't even know where they came from.
Government is not even helping the issue. In schools, I remember during our own time, like what we call 3 languages, they made it compulsory in the schools, but this time around, it's no longer mandatory. All those things is fading away. All those things are not even putting into consideration. So I encourage every parent and every Nigerians to teach their children their mother's tongue.
Reports say after 18 years, the Supreme Court has voided the sack by Mobile Producing Nigeria Unlimited of about 860 Nigerians employed as security officers but named by the company as spies. The Supreme Court in a judgment held that it was illegal for Mobile to have employed the Nigerians and sought to offload them to the Nigerian police. The judgment was an appeal filed by Mobile against the 2009 court judgment, which upheld the Nigerian workers' claim to being employees of the oil giant. The Supreme Court, in the lead judgment by Justice John Okoro, agreed that the Nigerians were and are still Mobile's staff. It ordered Mobile to pay them all outstanding allowances and salaries from when they were disengaged. In 2000, a dispute arose about the status of the security guards, with Mobile claiming to have transferred the employment to the Nigerian police force. A report said suspected gunmen have again killed about 30 people in Kabaro and Adamani villages in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. An eyewitness, Shaibu Kabaro, told the news agency of Nigeria NAN in Maru that the suspected gunmen attacked the 2 communities and the incident was reported to the security agencies. He said 3 of the bandits were arrested by security agents following the prompt report of the incident to the security personnel. Shaibu said the gunmen in turn went and mobilized more gangs and returned in magnitude and multitude to carry out the attack, which left about 30 people dead in the two communities. Police spokesman in the state, Mohammed Shehu, who confirmed the killings at the weekend, said many of the villagers have deserted their homes for fear of further attacks. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, has urged the Cameroonian Authority not to send Nigerian refugees back to the Boko Haram violence they fled from. UNHCR said despite the warnings, Nigerian refugees and asylum seekers who fled Boko Haram violence continue to be returned from Cameroon, underscoring the need to accord international protection to those in need. Since the beginning of 2018, 385 Nigerian refugees and asylum seekers had been forcefully returned from Cameroon. The UN agency said the forced returns are in violation of the principle of no forced returns. It noted that it is important that refugee protection and national security are not seen as being incompatible. We'll now take a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, the Democratic Party has sued the Russian government, U.S. President Donald Trump, and WikiLeaks, saying that they carried out a wide-ranging conspiracy to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The party alleged in its federal lawsuit top officials in Trump's Republican campaign team conspired with the Russian government to halt Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and tilt the election to favor Trump. Trump has repeatedly denied his campaign colluded with Russia, and Moscow also has said, and he has denied meddling in the election. Four U.S. intelligence agencies reported last year that Russia sponsored the hacking of Democratic Party groups and other actions during the 2016 campaign. Part of the effort was to benefit Trump over Clinton, the agencies had said. In sports, Portugal head coach Fernando Santos has written off Nigeria's chances of advancing to the knockout stage of the 2018 World Cup. The Super Eagles were the first African side to qualify for the Mundial ahead of the four other representatives, Senegal, Egypt, Morocco and Tunisia. However, Morocco play in Group B alongside Portugal, Spain and Iran, while the Nigerian side faces Croatia, Iceland and Argentina in Group D. Santos said Morocco and Nigeria will not have it easy in their respective groups as they face top football sides. He said he does not believe that any African country would scale through this group stage. For the 63-year-old, the favorites are Brazil, Germany, Spain, Argentina and France. And that's the news for this hour. But we'd like to also remind you that for the Senate attack, Deputy Senate President Ekweremadu has indicted security agencies. Again, suspected gunman attacks Zamfara, leaves about 30 people dead and many injured. On the foreign scene, Democratic Party sues Russia, Trump for alleged election conspiracy. Thank you for listening. My name is Oekike Igado Kure.
One Radio.
Welcome on board to the Human Rights Radio.
Redefining broadcasting.